Okay, what we're going to do here this morning is show you how we select a site to mount a trail camera, and then also show you the system that we use out here in the West to securely mount the camera to a tree to try to discourage theft. Okay, now what we've located here is a trail that's being well used by both deer and elk. We'll walk down this trail a little bit. There are lots of tracks. They're hard to see here with the shadows, but as we can see how the ground is beaten down, and look right up through here. This is a trail that runs up to a fence, and the fence has elk and deer hair on it. It's an old barbed wire fence that obviously has been mangled and repaired a bunch of times, and so here's the precise spot where they're jumping right over the fence, and the trail continues on up this way. Now there's a number of nice trees out here, nice big pine trees. This would be an ideal tree. It's about 18 inches in diameter. However, it's facing directly into the sun. So we need to find a tree where the camera won't be facing into the sun. Back off here again and we'll spin around, walk back down the trail here, and see if we can't find a more appropriate position to mount this trail camera. Might be able to zoom in on an elk track here, give you an idea of what we're actually looking for. Okay, as we walk back down the trail here, we see something very interesting. There's a fork that goes off in this direction, and we can see a jump spot right here where the fence wraps around, and the animals are also coming across the fence right here. So that's quite interesting. We'll go back this way. Maybe we're going to find an intersection here, and it looks like we have one right here. Okay, the trail forks and goes out this way. And there's another fork in the trail right here that proceeds out this way and winds through this vegetation. And lo and behold, right at the point of that trail, we have a nice big 18-inch diameter ponderosa pine tree that's facing directly away from the rising sun. This video is being done about 8:30 in the morning. Okay, we're rolling, and now we're going to install the trail camera on this nice big, about 18-inch diameter ponderosa pine tree. Many of these big trees have a pretty thick bark on them, and we're going to mount a steel security box made by Camlock Box in Wisconsin to put our trail camera in it. And we can see if we put it on here, it's going to wobble on the tree. And so one little trick that I use that does not damage the tree is I take a saw, and I typically will cut into the bark a little bit, only into the bark, not into the tree itself, so we don't want to damage the tree, and that'll give us a more secure mounting platform for the box. So we picked the height about here. I'm going to cut into the bark a little bit at an angle to make a ledge, and then we're going to just basically trim off a flat surface here into the bark. Okay, we don't need to take a lot off. You basically just want to get a flat surface to mount the camera. And now you can see the box is fairly solid and secure. Give it one more little trim on the corner here. We haven't hurt the tree at all. Check our box again, and it looks like we have it pointing in precisely the right direction. Now we're going to take 6-inch galvanized lag screws with a very good sized fender washer to mount our box to the tree securely. And these big lag screws take a pretty good amount of force to get them mounted. You can drill some pilot holes to make this easier. I didn't take the time to do that. Now, as you can see, this box is as secure as it can be. Plus, by taking off the bark in the back, it fits flush, so it makes it much more difficult to try to put a pry bar in here to try to remove it off the tree. So this is solid and extremely secure. Now we'll take this is a Stealth Cam shadow cam that we're going to put in this box. We'll open it up, check the settings, turn the camera on, and this one has a zoom feature, and I've got it on one of the zoom settings because my target area where these animals are going to start to split on this trail is about 20 feet away. Close up the front of this tight-fitting box. Then the final step is a very secure padlock with a short shackle. This one happens to be a master, and I believe this one on a security level of 10. This one actually ranks 9 because it has a special tough to cut shackle. Sometimes you have to pre-drill these holes in the box ahead of time just by a tiny amount to get these large diameter shackles through. And lock up your camera. And there we are. We have a secure camera set on a trail right where the trail forks, and we should have a lot of activity from the tracks on the ground and the sign. Looks like we have both elk and mule deer coming through here. There you have it. We can see here from the side that the box is mounted securely and tightly to the tree because we've trimmed off a little of the bark, which doesn't in any way harm the tree. Okay, and the crowning touch is I will occasionally wire a little piece of vegetation, as you can see with this oak branch here, just in case the camera is a little too conspicuous. This will help hide it a little bit, and I usually take some baling wire and we just wire it directly onto the tree, again not damaging the tree. So there you have it. We're all set with our trail camera. Okay, there's one more final touch that I almost forgot. I get these stickers from the State Game Agency, and my final setup is I attach one to the camera in a fairly conspicuous place. And although this really won't stop a thief, it might give a would-be thief cause to stop and consider who they're actually dealing with. So if your game agency offers these, it's a good idea to put them on your trail cameras.